to start her presentation right away. So, and tell you more about the University, St. George University Medical School. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Nicola. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me today, and my sincere apologies for the delay, everyone. I would like to thank you all for taking the time to attend today's session, as I will be talking to you about the top 10 questions when thinking about a career in medicine. Just let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Lovely. Okay.
Hello.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining today. My name is Buthaina Hamed, and I am the Associate Director at St. George's University School of Medicine. I myself am actually based in London, as I look after our student recruitment from Europe. We're all here today because we're all thinking about a future career in medicine, and what an exciting time it is to be thinking about that. I'm here today to answer any questions you may have, but most importantly, to cover some of the top 10 questions that most of our students have been asking when thinking about a future in medicine. In today's presentation, we'll cover a lot of information about St. George's University School of Medicine's program, locations, competitive advantages, and why St. George's University School of Medicine is the right place for you. And as a result of that, your future for medicine starts here. This image in front of you is St. George's University School of Medicine. This is actually our main campus, and we have our main campus in Grenada, the Caribbean, and we refer to this campus as our True Blue campus. We were actually founded 45 years ago, and over the last 45 years, we have acquired just over 19,000 students as alumni from our School of Medicine. As you can see, the campus itself is a purpose-built campus, and it is a state-of-the-art facility, and it includes everything from our teaching facilities, our lecture halls, our laboratories, our library, in addition to our student accommodation, a number of different outlets and restaurants, a gym, outdoor recreation activities, our own private beach, and a shuttle bus that runs from 7 a.m. until 2 a.m. We're a very diverse community, and that's something that really excites me. It is core to who we are, and I'm sure it's really exciting for you too. So, for example, this year we actually have 103 different nationalities. As I said, we've graduated over 19,000 successful physicians who are currently licensed and practicing physicians in all 50 states in the United States, in Canada, in the UK, and in over 50 countries around the world, including those in Europe. Now, I'm going to start by covering some of the questions that you may have. Obviously, if you have any additional questions at any time, please feel free to reach out to me throughout today's event. And I look forward to talking to each and every one of you. I'm just going to cover some top 10 questions, as I mentioned, and I'm going to start with a question that we really tend to get from most of our students. And the first question is, will I get a US residency? And this is a question that many of you will be asking if you are thinking in a future career in medicine in the United States. The vast majority of students who join us because their ultimate goal and dream is to practice medicine in the US. And in order to make that dream a reality, you need to achieve two criteria. So in order for you to become a licensed physician in the United States, you need to achieve two criteria. The first one is to complete a US residency. And this is why this question is really important. And what's important to note that 88% is actually the percentage of our residency placement at time of graduation for eligible international graduates who applied for US residencies over the last 3 years. And this is a figure that we are extremely proud of, because if you do some research into the percentage of international students who are able to be awarded a residency, are able to obtain a residency upon graduation.
Sorry to stop you, Butina. There is a problem with the presentation again. We had that with Svetlana. It doesn't go, so we just see your first page.
Oh.
Okay, so can you just stop sharing and try again?
Okay. Apologies for that. Let's try again.
Okay.
Sorry, just a second. I actually have to close it because it doesn't come up as a window unless I actually close it and start over. Okay, my apologies for the technical error. Okay.
No problem.
Here we are. All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see now.
Okay, perhaps I'll leave it in this format instead of opening it up to each and every page.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I think that's great. Sorry for this.
No problem whatsoever. My apologies, everyone, for the technical errors. So I was talking about US residencies, and what's really important to note that St. George's University School of Medicine is actually the #1 provider into first-year US residencies, and we have been for the last 12 years combined. And what that means is there isn't a medical school in the world, whether that be a US medical school.
Okay, so now we lost Butina. Let's just wait for her to come back. So like with the other presentation, if you have any question, you can write during the presentation, and we are going to try to answer as many questions as we can. And of course, feel free after presentation to go to any of the booths we have to speak with our representatives and to with Butina and ask anything we didn't have time to answer. So let's just wait to see what happened here.
Hello?
Hello, please continue. Yeah, there was something wrong.
I think.
Oh. Maybe it's a bad weather in London.
Hello?
Hello?
The system doesn't want me to stay on this platform.
Yes.
It keeps pulling me out every time I get a chat, so apologies for that.
So maybe you can stop chatting there.
Yes,
you can,
I did. I disconnected the feature.
Okay. So.
Okay. Sorry if you just give me a second so I can share my screen.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Again, apologies, everyone. Hopefully I will not get pulled out. So I was talking about US residency placements. And if you were with us at the beginning of today's presentation, I said St. George's University School of Medicine has acquired just over 19,000 students as alumni from our School of Medicine. Today, 11,627 of those 19,000 are currently licensed physicians in the United States. And what that means is there isn't a medical school in the world, whether that be a US or an international medical school, that has the same number of graduates that we do who are currently licensed in the United States. So as I said, we have licensed and practicing physicians in all 50 states in the United States, in Canada, in the UK, and in over 50 countries around the world. Now, obviously, being able to obtain a US residency is not something that just happens. For those of you who are interested in a future career in medicine in the United States and have done some research into US residencies, you understand how competitive it is to be able to obtain a US residency upon graduation. And as we said, St. George's University is the #1 provider and has been for the last 12 years. And that really comes down to our student efforts and, most importantly, to the level of support they are offered at the university. So we offer a very personalized support and guidance system at St. George's University School of Medicine, and we offer it through a number of different offices, one of them being the Office of Career Guidance and Student Development. And what that office includes is basically advisors who are expert advisors in the field who work with you from the beginning and support you in developing your own personalized residency strategy. And what that means is they will be looking in depth into your profile. They will be providing you with very similar profiles to yourself of SGU alumni who have been successful in obtaining US residencies. So alumni who have got a similar academic background as yourself, a similar profile as yourself, similar interests as yourself, and a similar experience as yourself. And that's crucial. And most importantly, they will be working with you not only on the residency application, but on, developing your personal statement, on practicing your interview skills. And in addition to that, to make sure that you are applying to residencies you highly qualify for and residencies that you are the best match for. That leads me on to the second question that many students ask. And that question is, how will SGU's clinical network help me obtain a residency? And this is a really important question because when you're studying medicine, you will be doing part of the program as clinical rotations. So you're still students, you're still learning, but instead of learning on campuses, in lectures, laboratories, or small group settings, you are actually learning through clinical training at our affiliated hospitals. So we have a network of 75 plus hospitals, and those 75 plus hospitals are in the United States and in the United Kingdom. So in the US, for example, our clinical network, so our affiliated hospitals are in 12 different states, including California, Florida, Los Angeles, Michigan, New York, New Jersey, Ohio, and others, as you can see. And in the UK, we are across 8 different locations. Most of those are in the south of England. And in addition to that, we also have hospitals in London and the Greater London area. And what that means is you've got clinical support not only at each of those hospitals, but also at St. George's University. So at each of those hospitals, you will have a director of medical education, you'll have clerkship directors, you'll have clinical faculty, and you will have medical education coordinators. And at our university, you will have your Dean of Medicine, your Dean of Clinical Training, your Associate Deans, your department chairs, your clinical coordinators, and your Office of Career Guidance and Student Development. Again, this all comes to the level of personalized support and guidance system that is offered at St. George's University School of Medicine. The third question still links to the US pathway. So for those of you who are thinking of practicing medicine in the United States, because in order to become a licensed physician in the United States, the first criteria which we spoke about is about completing a US residency placement in the United States. And the second criteria is you have to pass your USMLE. And the USMLE is the United States Medical Licensing Exam. And there's the USMLE Step 1, Step 2, and Step 3. And we have outstanding results with the USMLE. In fact, we are on par with US medical schools based in the US. Now, the program itself that we offer at St. George's University School of Medicine is an MD degree. And an MD degree is a medical doctor degree. And it is offered at a number of different entry levels. So we have a 4-year MD degree, a 5-year MD degree, a 6-year MD degree, and a 7-year MD degree. And the entry level will depend on your academic background. So for example, if you are a student who has already completed a Bachelor's of Science or will have completed a Bachelor's of Science before enrolling onto our program, you are eligible to apply to our 4-year MD degree. If you are a student who has completed an international curriculum, so for example, you have completed A-levels and have 3 full A-levels in sciences, or you've completed a full IB diploma, then you will be eligible to apply to our 5-year MD degree. And if you are a student who is doing a national curriculum, then for most European countries, you will be looking at the 6-year MD degree. And then we've got the 7-year MD degree, and that comes to just specific certain countries that may have an 11 or 12-year schooling national curriculum. And then it's for students who may have a GCSE or equivalent. What I'll do today is I'll talk to you about the 6-year MD degree, as it will cover most of you who are joining us today. So for the 6-year MD degree, as an example, that program includes 2 years of preclinical sciences, followed by 2 years of basic medicine, ending with 2 years of clinical rotations. Now, for the first year of preclinical sciences on the 6-year program, it is referred to as preclinical sciences 2. And you can see there are 2 flags represented below that year. And what that means is that each of those flags represents a possible location. So you can complete this year either on our main campus in Grenada, or you can complete this year at our partner university in the UK, which is Northumbria University. You then move on to your second year, which is Preclinical Sciences 3, and this would be your first year if you are completing A-levels or IB diploma. And you can see that there are 3 flags represented, which means you can complete this year either on our main campus in Grenada, the Caribbean, or at our partner university here in the UK, which is Northumbria University in the city of Newcastle in the north of England, or at our partner university in India, which is Ramaya University in the city of Bangalore in India. We will then move on to our basic sciences. So for the first year of basic sciences, it's basic principles of medicine. And you can see there are 2 flags represented, again, either on our main campus in Grenada or at our partner university here in the UK, which is Northumbria University. Second year of basic sciences, which is principles of clinical medicine. You can see there's only 1 flag represented. And what that means, that it is mandatory for you to complete this year on our main campus in Grenada. And the reason we've made one of the years mandatory in Grenada is because ultimately the degree you are being awarded is a medical doctor degree from St. George's University School of Medicine. So it's important for us that A, you are subjected to the Grenadian medical healthcare system, and that is really just to add to your competitive advantage, and B, that you get to experience the exceptional student offering on our main campus in Grenada, the Caribbean. You would then move on to your last 2 years, and the last 2 years are clinical rotations. So that is where you are still a student, you are still learning. However, instead of learning on campus in lectures, laboratories, or small group settings, you are actually learning through clinical training at our affiliated hospitals. So you will be doing clinical training at the affiliated hospitals. And for your first year, you will do 42 weeks of core rotations. So that's where you'll be subjected to core specialities such as surgery, pediatrics, OBGYN, and psychiatry. And for your final year, you will do 38 weeks of rotations. And that is where you will do a sub-internship and you will cover all of your electives. Again, you could do the last 2 years either at our hospitals in the US or at our hospitals in the UK, or a combination of our hospitals in the US and in the UK. You would then graduate with an MD degree, which is a medical doctor degree from St. George's University School of Medicine. Now, many of us attending today may not be familiar with an MD degree, and that's absolutely natural, because in Europe, we are more familiar with an MBBS, and an MD degree is a postgraduate course of study, and it is a US style curriculum. So if you look at North American medical schools, you will see that their offering is an MD degree. Now, what's important to note as a competitive advantage at St. George's University School of Medicine is all of the different offerings that are being available to you in terms of location. It gives you a huge competitive advantage when applying to residencies, because potentially you could be subjected to a number of different medical healthcare systems before you've even graduated your MD degree. The other thing to take into account is the quality of education remains the same regardless of the location. Ultimately, you are being taught an SGU curriculum by SGU faculty, leading to the same exceptional SGU outcomes. So it is just giving you the opportunity to be subjected to different medical healthcare systems. It's giving you the opportunity to have a cross-cultural experience. It is giving you the opportunity to have different student life experiences as well. And it's giving you an opportunity to grow not only your personal network, but also your professional network across the globe before you've even graduated. So just to recap in terms of location, our main campus, which we refer to as our True Blue campus, is in Grenada, the Caribbean. Our partner university in the United Kingdom is Northumbria University in the city of Newcastle in the north of England. And our partner university in India is Ramaya University in the city of Bangalore. As for our affiliated hospitals, so our clinical network, we have our clinical network in the United Kingdom, and then we have our clinical network in the United States as well. Which leads me on to the next question. And this is quite an important one because it talks about how will I be supported to succeed in my medical education? You're all here today because you're thinking in a future of medicine. And I'm sure you've all done your research and know how competitive medicine is and the required efforts and investment that needs to be put into a future career in medicine. And as a result of that, I just want to talk to you a little bit more about the personalized support and guidance that is offered at St. George's University School of Medicine. So 75% of your classes and labs will be offered in a ratio of 8:1. And what that means is for every 8 students, there is one medical doctor or PhD professor. And that is a very personalized approach when it comes to studying medicine. Another factor is that when you enroll at St. George's University School of Medicine, you are actually allocated to one of our 9 colleges within the School of Medicine. And what that means is every year we welcome just over 1,000 students onto our School of Medicine. And instead of you being 1 out of 1,000, you become 1 out of 120, as each of those colleges are their own learning community, with their own dean, their own associate deans, their own faculty, their own advisors. And within each of those colleges, that is where the small group learning takes place. That's where the emphasis is on your student wellness and support and on your personal and professional development. So a very dedicated support system that is focused on your success. Academic programs being offered in state-of-the-art facilities to prepare you not only for your SGU exams, not only for your USMLEs, but for your residency and beyond. Just to give you a little bit of an understanding in terms of our faculty, all of our professors are either MD or PhD or equivalent. We have about 1,500 faculty within our clinical network. So those are located in our affiliated hospitals in the United States and the United Kingdom. And then we've got just under 500 faculty in Grenada. And then we always have visiting faculty as well from esteemed institutions around the world. In addition to that, we also have our Department of Educational Services, and the Department of Educational Services basically includes 45 advisors who on a weekly basis offer 450 different webinars, seminars, obviously, as everything has referred back to face-to-face. And those seminars focus on skill development. So they will cover everything from time management skills to test-taking skills, to how to conduct study groups and tutorials and much more. In addition to that, they also offer support with English language where necessary, and they offer students the opportunity to join our mentoring program, whether you want to be a mentor in the future or whether you would like to be mentored when joining the program. Our fifth question leads us to where will my SGU medical degree allow me to practice medicine? As I said, we have just over 19,000 alumni. 11,627 of them are currently licensed in the United States. And then in addition to that, we have not only our alumni practicing in all 50 states in the United States, but also in Canada, in the UK, and in over 50 countries around the world. While the vast majority of students who join us because their ultimate goal and dream is to practice medicine in the United States, we have students who are joining us to join our UK pathway, and that is the route to becoming a licensed and practicing physician in the United Kingdom. And then we have a return pathway, which is the route for you to go back to your home country to practice medicine there. It's important to understand that we are fully accredited and recognized in most countries. We are a fully accredited institution in terms of recognition. We are recognized by most countries. And for our accreditation, we are accredited by Grenada Medical and Dental Council. Our sixth question moves us on to some questions about student life. So one question we get is, what will my life be like at St. George's University School of Medicine? The main campus, which is our True Blue campus in Grenada, is a state-of-the-art facility. It is a purpose-built campus, and as we said, it has everything from all of our teaching facilities, whether they be lectures, laboratories, study areas, our library, and in addition to that, they have student accommodation on premises. We have a gym, outdoor recreation activities, we have our own private beach, and a number of different restaurants and outlets. So a very high quality accommodation facility to really support your life and studies. We have 65 different clubs that are available to you to join. Those clubs can be professional, they can be spiritual, they can be athletic clubs, and they can be university community clubs. So a number of different clubs, really depending on where your self-development fits in, and it really gives you an opportunity to be part of the SGU community. With regards to sports, as we said, we have a gym on campus and we have a number of outdoor recreation activities. So our students do a number of sports, including basketball, football, cricket. Our students are fully involved in running. There are a number of different marathons that are facilitated throughout the year. We also have some arts, yoga classes, and then a fun fact is 80% of our students are scuba certified by the time they graduate from St. George's University School of Medicine. And the reason for that is Grenada is actually one of the top diving destinations in the Caribbean. Our next question is, how can I see where I'll be studying medicine? I am pleased to say that you can visit our website and go through a full virtual tour of the facility itself and a full virtual tour of our student accommodation. And that is applicable not only to our main campus in Grenada, the Caribbean, but also to our partner university in the UK, which is Northumbria University. You are always welcome to visit our campus. You can always reach out if you are traveling to the UK or if you are traveling to Grenada, the Caribbean. We can always facilitate a tour and we can always arrange meetings with current students and faculty to talk to them about their own experience and to learn more. However, I must say that we also offer that virtually. So you always have the chance to join our many different webinars that will cover a number of different topics hosted by our faculty members. And in addition to that, we can always facilitate virtual meetings with current or alumni students should you wish to do so. The next question is there financial aid? And this is a really important question. And what I can tell you is 75% of our cohort are on some form of scholarship. So there are a number of different scholarships that are available to students. And while they are not guaranteed at the end of the day, if you are awarded a scholarship, it is important to note that it is a partial scholarship. And that leads me very nicely onto the next question, which is the application process. So I'm here today with one of our esteemed partners, which is Integral, and they will be able to support you with your application to St. George's University School of Medicine. And the application process basically involves a completion of an application and providing full supporting documents for you to go under initial review. An initial review means that every single applicant is reviewed by our faculty committee for a decision as to whether or not they will be granted an interview. So if you are successful during our initial review, and basically they will be assessing you based on your academic background, based on your volunteering and work experience, based on your personal statement, and based on your letters of recommendation. If you are successful, you will be awarded a virtual interview, which is conducted via Zoom with an SGU alumni. And it is at that point, after completion of interview, that you would go into final review, which means our faculty committee will take your interviewer's feedback on how you performed during interview for a final assessment as to whether or not you are accepted onto the program. So if successful and you are accepted onto the program, you would be issued a conditional offer letter with two conditions. The first one being an academic condition for the final results that you are expected to achieve, whether you are at school or at university. And the second condition would be an English language proficiency test. So our English language requirements is an IELTS 7 with no element less than 7. And it is at that point that you can be considered for a scholarship opportunity. There is no additional application that needs to be made. You just need to complete a document that we would provide to you, which is a 2-page document, and it is a listing of basically your financial circumstances, so a listing of your income versus assets versus expenses, which allows our scholarship community to basically, it allows the scholarship committee to make an assessment based on financial needs, in addition to obviously reviewing your overall profile for an academic assessment. And it is based on those that they would make a final decision as to whether or not you are awarded a scholarship. And if you are awarded a scholarship, they will make a decision as to the amount of scholarship you are awarded. That leads me on to my final question today, and that is, why is St. George's University the place to start my medical career? And this is a fantastic slide and question to end with, because it gives us an opportunity to do a bit of a recap in terms of what are some of our competitive advantages and why are we the right choice for you. The first one is state-of-the-art teaching facilities, accommodation, and student life opportunities, whether that be on our main campus in Grenada, the Caribbean, or at our partner university here in the UK, which is Northumbria University in the city of Newcastle. The second one is a very strong quality curriculum and academic support, very personalized support and guidance system that leads to outstanding USMLE results. That leads me on as well to our exceptional US residency placement rates. As you remember, we are the #1 provider into first-year US residency rates upon graduation, and we have been for the last 12 years. Both the outstanding USMLE and the exceptional residency rates mean that ultimately we are the largest source of physicians for the entire US workforce. So there isn't a medical school in the world that is able to have the same number of graduates that we do who are currently licensed in the United States. And obviously not to forget the very personalized support and guidance system, as I said, that is offered at St. George's University School of Medicine, which really allows you to have the small class experience with the benefits of a larger school. So the benefits of a larger school, without a doubt, are the curriculum, the facility, the faculty, but you're still getting very, very personalized support and guidance. 75% of your classes being offered in a ratio of 8:1. So a fantastic offering when it comes to how the curriculum is taught. And finally, a very strong clinical network with 75 plus leading affiliated hospitals in the US and in the UK. And not to forget that not only do we have the competitive advantage of the US pathway, we have a very established UK pathway that enables you to become a licensed and practicing physician here in the UK. And depending on where you are from around the world, we can also talk about a return pathway, which means the route to go back to your home country to practice medicine there. I will leave you with basically a few more slides. The first one being some of the hospitals where our graduates have practiced. And as you can see, SGU graduates have practiced at all US News and World Report's top US hospitals. So these are some of the top and most renowned US hospitals in the United States, and all of which our graduates have practiced in. So if you join St. George's University School of Medicine, you are joining an SGU alumni network of doctors in all specialities who have successful careers all around the world. This is a testimonial from one of our graduates who joined us from the UK. And you can see he talks a little bit about his educational experience, in addition to some information about the facility itself and how his time at his residency in New York has helped achieve where he is today. So without a doubt, St. George's University is an outstanding educational experience that will get you to your goal of becoming a practicing physician. I want to thank you all for your time today. My name is Buthaina Hamed. I am the Associate Director at St. George's University School of Medicine. These are some of my contact information. Please feel free to take a picture of the information, or feel free to scan the code so that the information can be saved. Otherwise, please feel free to stop by at the booth so we can have a one-to-one chat about any questions you may have about St. George's University School of Medicine or about your future medical career. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time today.
Thank you, Buthaina, for your presentation. So that was everything we planned with the presentations. Of course, if there is, like Buthaina said, if you have any question, feel free to visit her on the booth and you can speak with her one-on-one. So thank you. And thanks everybody for being here, and have a great event until the end.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.